Ladies and gentlemen, there is a force within each of us that shapes our destiny, yet most people remain unaware of its power. It is not luck, intelligence, or talent that determines our success or failure. It is something far more subtle, something that whispers in our minds every single day: the way we think. Your thoughts have the power to build you up or break you down. They can make you unstoppable, or they can make you weak. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a great opportunity, a chance to change your life forever. But instead of stepping forward, a voice inside your head says, "You're not good enough." That voice isn't real, but the more you listen to it, the more power it gains. It steals your courage, drains your energy, and keeps you frozen in place. Not because you lack ability, but because you have convinced yourself that you do. Every time you dwell on fear, on doubt, on excuses, you are handing over control to weakness. You are telling yourself a story where you are the victim, where the obstacles are too great, where success belongs to someone else. But what if you changed the story? What if, instead of saying, "I can't," you asked, "How can I?" What if, instead of focusing on limitations, you focused on possibility? Greatness is never about the absence of challenges. It is about the refusal to let those challenges define you. The strongest people in history were not the ones who had easy lives, but the ones who refused to surrender to negative thoughts. They rewrote the script of their minds until every doubt, every excuse, and every fear was replaced with belief, determination, and action. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. You can continue feeding the thoughts that weaken you, or you can take control. You can tell yourself a different story, one where you are capable, one where you are resilient, one where success is not a distant dream, but an inevitable reality. The world will try to convince you otherwise. It will throw obstacles in your path, people will doubt you, and failures will test you. But none of those things have the power to defeat you unless you allow them to. So take a look at your thoughts. Are they making you stronger, or are they holding you back? If they are keeping you small, it is time to change them. Because the moment you change your mind, you change your life. There is a power within you greater than any obstacle you will ever face. It is not in your physical strength, your resources, or your circumstances. It is in your mind. Every achievement, every failure, every step forward, and every setback begins with a single thought. The way you think determines the way you live. Picture two people standing at the same starting line, facing the same challenge. One looks ahead with confidence, believing they will find a way, while the other is consumed by doubt, already convinced they will fail. Before either of them takes a single step, their destinies are already being shaped, not by their abilities, not by their intelligence, but by the silent conversations happening in their minds. A person who constantly thinks, "I am not good enough," or "I will never succeed," creates an invisible prison around themselves. They hesitate when opportunities arise. They shy away from risks. They find reasons to stay exactly where they are because their mind has convinced them that moving forward is impossible. And so they remain stuck, not because they lack the ability, but because their own thoughts have made them weak. Now imagine if that same person changed their inner dialogue. What if, instead of doubt, they filled their mind with thoughts of possibility? What if, instead of saying, "I can't," they asked, "How can I?" The moment this shift happens, something incredible takes place. The chains of fear begin to loosen. The weight of self-doubt starts to lift. They no longer see obstacles as barriers, but as stepping stones. And with that single shift in thought, they unlock the strength that was always within them. Your mind is the master of your fate. If you fill it with fear, fear will control you. If you fill it with belief, belief will drive you. The choice is yours. Weakness does not come from external forces, it comes from within, from the thoughts you entertain every day. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. Because the greatest battles you will ever fight are not in the outside world, they are within you. And the only way to win is to refuse to let weak thoughts define you.
There is nothing more destructive to your potential than the silent, creeping power of negative thoughts. They do not strike like a sudden storm. They whisper, they linger, they settle deep within you until they become the lens through which you see the world. And before you realize it, they have taken control, not just of your mind, but of your life. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I'll never make it," or "what if I fail?" You're giving those words power. They seep into your actions, your energy, your decisions. You hesitate when you should act. You step back when you should push forward, not because you are truly incapable, but because your mind has convinced you that you are. And the longer you entertain these thoughts, the more they drain you, stripping away your confidence, your courage, your will to fight. Think about a time when fear held you back, a time when you wanted to speak up, to take a risk, to step into something greater, but you didn't. Not because of any real obstacle, but because of the story running through your mind. That hesitation, that moment of doubt is how weakness takes root, not in your body, not in your abilities, but in your thinking. But here's the truth. Weakness is not a condition, it is a choice. It is a choice to believe in limitations instead of possibilities. It is a choice to listen to fear instead of faith. It is a choice to allow negative thoughts to shape your future instead of rewriting them to empower you. You are not born weak. You are not designed to live in fear. You have simply trained your mind to believe in limitations more than in your own strength. The good news? Just as negative thoughts weaken you, positive ones can strengthen you. The moment you decide to challenge every doubt, to replace every fear with the belief in yourself, you reclaim your power. You stop being a prisoner of your own mind and become the architect of your destiny. The only question is, will you keep allowing your thoughts to weaken you, or will you take back control? The choice, as always, is yours. Every day there is a conversation happening inside your mind, a voice that speaks to you, shaping the way you see yourself and the world around you. This voice is powerful. It can push you forward or hold you back, strengthen you or weaken you, lift you up or drag you down. And the most dangerous part, you don't even realize how much control it has over you. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to try something new, take a risk, or chase a dream, only to hear that voice whisper, "You're not ready. You're not good enough. What if you fail?" That voice isn't reality, it's not the truth, it's simply a story you've been telling yourself over and over again until it feels real. The more you listen to it, the more it defines you. And before you know it, you start living small, doubting yourself at every turn, stuck in a cycle of hesitation and fear, not because the world is stopping you, but because your mind has convinced you that you can't move forward. But here's something most people never realize. This voice is not permanent. It is not set in stone. It is a habit, a pattern, a conditioned way of thinking that you have the power to change. If your inner voice can make you weak, it can also make you strong. The same way it tells you you can't, you can train it to say you can. The same way it fills you with doubt, you can fill it with belief. The greatest transformations don't start in the outside world, they start in the mind. The moment you decide to take control of your thoughts, to rewrite the story in your head, you take back your power. Because no failure, no obstacle, no challenge is stronger than the thoughts you choose to believe. You are not weak. You have never been weak. You have only been listening to a voice that does not serve you. Change the voice, change your story, and watch how your entire world changes with them.